Chinese medicine is based on so much diagnosis, looking, smelling, touching, listening. We don't do much tasting anymore, but traditionally they used to. They used to taste the pea to see if it was sweet, so if it was diabetes or not. But to be able to smell and touch and look, you can find out so much information about the body.
Yeah. So it seems to me what you're describing is your acupuncture practice reminds me, at least, I'm not old enough to have gone to doctors back 50, 70 years ago, but back then, the stories you read, and those doctors had very close one-on-one relationships with the majority of their patients, and that's I think what you were saying seems pretty much what I've read and been told about how medicine used to be.
Yeah, and even with our assessment of the body, how the pulse changes and stuff, there are certain patterns in the pulse that could mean imbalance, but at the same time, if you're familiar with their body, there could be natural shifts based on season and stuff like that that can show up as variations in the pulse. But if you know who they are, you can just see that or attribute that to just a seasonal change. Because we forget that we're not the same person 365 days a year, even though we live in an artificial lights and temperature environment now where we can get any kind of food we want all year round. We forget that this outside environment changes and that we are slightly different every single day and throughout the season. So we need to pay attention to those variations in the seasons and how it affects our physical health and mental health too.
Right.
Women know that the moon has a direct effect on their cycle, or at least it used to until birth control and all that stuff. But it makes sense that we're a product of our environment, and subtle changes in the environment can have subtle changes or profound changes within our system. So when I hear patients coming in saying they're depressed and it's wintertime, I'm just like, be a little careful on calling it depression just right now. It's okay to be more internal and not want to be at social and sleep more. That's not necessarily the definition of depression. But people will interpret it and they just go, oh, I know other people who are depressed and I'm feeling those symptoms, so I must be depressed, so put me on some medication. It's like, just wait till springtime, and if you feel the same, then we can take it one step further and go get evaluated by a doctor. But hold off for a moment.